Welcome to The Author Show, where we present new authors and books. From fiction to self-help and everything in between, you'll find it all here. To watch the TV version of our program, visit authorswebtv.com. That's authorswebtv.com. And now, let the show begin.
Hi, this is Linda Thompson, your host for The Author Show. College spring break gone bad. Where have we heard that before? But we've never heard it in quite the same way as author Rico Austin writes in his semi-autobiographical book, My Bad Tequila. Rico joins us today to tell us his story about one spring break in Mexico and what happens afterward. Rico, welcome to The Author Show.
Thank you very much, Linda. I'm pleased to be here.
Rico, please give us a short overview of My Bad Tequila.
Well, My Bad Tequila is a story of one man's epic journey through life, which begins with the main character, Red Austin, boarding a blue school bus once painted yellow. And Red saved his hard-earned dinero to take a once-in-a-lifetime spring break that's offered at Boise State University by a dive instructor who also serves as the bus driver and guide. And this disastrous spring break trip to Mexico does not end up being the dream vacation that Red had envisioned.
So, is there any author you feel may have influenced your writing style?
Yes, a couple of them. John Steinbeck and Ernest Hemingway. I respect both of them, and I've read several of their books. Also, I read all the Nancy Drew and Hardy Book boys when I was a kid growing up. So there was also a sense of mystery as well.
Well, when you were writing My Bad Tequila, were you writing with perhaps parents in mind, or with the young people still going to Mexico for spring break in mind, or a little of both and the general public as well?
Well, to tell the truth, Linda, I was writing to purge myself of this story. I was drinking heavily late at night, and that's when I began writing. And as Ernest Hemingway said, write drunk, edit sober.
Wow, that's pretty heavy. So if you were writing an article about My Bad Tequila, what would your headline be?
Spring break gone bad.
In your synopsis, you write, one event devastated the lives of 19 students, 3 chaperones, and 1 bus driver. What was that event?
That was the event in 1986 on this spring break where one girl came up disappearing. And not to give the story away, but Rhett was charged with murder of that spring break.
You say My Bad Tequila is semi-autobiographical. How much is fact and how much is fiction and how much is your story?
80% of it is true. 20% of it, I don't remember what happened because of all the tequila. Rhett is the character Rico, and it's an incredible story of very many bad decisions.
How old were you when you took this trip?
I was 26 years old. I was a freshman in college, 25 years old, a freshman in college. I was a late bloomer because my father had passed away when I was in high school. So I put off my college and dreams of playing college football for Boise State on hold for about 7 years. So I was just a freshman, but 25 years old.
And how did that affect your life afterwards?
It was very tough for about 5 years afterwards. And now that I've written about the story and the mystery has been solved, my life is very good. If I had to do over again, I probably would have made the same mistakes.
Are all the characters in your books real people, or are some of them imaginary?
They are all real people, but their names have been changed.
Your book has won at least one award that I know of. Please tell me about that.
It's won the Reader's Favorite Award. It's actually won 13 awards, 1 international award, all from Reader's Favorite to Arizona Authors Contest. I'm very proud of the end result. I'm not proud of everything I did in the book, but I'm hoping that young people will think twice and know that there are consequences for actions done while not thinking properly or very heavily intoxicated.
Do you keep in touch with any of the other people that was on this trip with you?
No, I do not. I have never seen any of them since that trip, other than in court.
Your book cover is a bit sinister, to say the least. What were your thoughts when choosing this cover for your book?
Well, my wife actually did the cover. She works on the Neiman Marcus catalog and Robert Redford's Sundance catalog, so she is very good at what she does. She knew what the book was about, and the mountain there, which is Teticawi Mountain in the Yaqui Indian tribe, which is Tetra de Cabra in Spanish, and if you turn the book upside down or the bookmarker, it's Tit of the Goat, and it's what the Yaqui tribe named this mountain. We have a place in San Carlos, Mexico, that I went back and bought years later after this incident, and that is the mountain that we see from our place on the beach, our condo on the beach. And then Connie drew a scary-looking guy holding an agave bottle inside the mountain. So it's very, very fitting.
You've written several other books. Are they all somewhat autobiographical?
Yes, they are, either of me or of someone that I know or have known.
So what are you working on now?
Baja Loco, 4 racing days and tequila nights on the Nora Mexican 1000. It's about the Baja 1000. In 2014, I was asked to go down with a team of drivers and write a story about it, about the crew members, the racers, the people of Mexico, and it's an incredible story.
You seem to have quite an affinity with our southern neighbor, Mexico. What is the draw for you?
Still the wild frontier. It's a little tamer now, but back in the 70s and 80s, basically it was where renegades, outlaws could go and hide. You're allowed to do just about anything down there. Now it's a bit tamer, which being in my 50s, I'm very satisfied that it is. But I love tequila. There's lots of tequila down there. There's the beaches, the oceans, the senoritas, the Mexican food, the musica. I love it. It's what the Old West used to be.
What is the primary message you would like readers of your book to remember?
Basically, that there are just so many things that if a person would have done differently, it can change your life. And it's a message that young adults and teens and parents should read. Fran Lewis of New York, she's a New York educator and a reviewer, she said that every teenager, college student, high school student, and parent needed to read this book. Because, first of all, I believe teens and young adults should have fun and build experience by taking trips or going on spring break with other peers. Having said this, secondly, they need to think long and hard about the choices that are out there for them. And remember, there are consequences for every action, whether it be a right choice or decision or a wrong choice decision. And thirdly, binge drinking or irresponsible drinking and engaging in irresponsible sex is not recommended, even though the character and also the author of My Bad Tequila has experienced life this way. Bad things can happen that have everlasting and permanent scars, sometimes emotionally and sometimes physically.
So, Rico, what is your life like now? Any more tequila binges in Mexico?
Yes, but I don't stray too far from the condo or my friends' condos when we're having an all-out tequila drinking evening or afternoon. My life is very good. I'm a sales rep for a major tire company, and I travel throughout the country, and therefore I'm able to do book signings at different restaurants, bars, bookstores as I travel around. And I have a place in Mexico where I go to unwind. So my life is better than I ever dreamed of it being. My mother raised 5 young boys, and we were some of the poorest in town, but she always made sure that we were fed and clean and worked. And so it's had a very positive impact on my life.
What a nice tribute to Mom. So what makes My Bad Tequila stand out in a crowd?
It's written with the most honest writing a person, a writer, an author can write at. A lot of authors like to make themselves out as heroes or good guys, and I chose to be very realistic and take a good hard look at the bad decisions I made that affected other people's lives.
Is your book similar to anything else we may have read?
My readers say it is completely different and that no one has ever guessed the ending of it. So I would have to say, no, it's not similar to anything out there.
Well, speaking of your readers, will you share some of the comments you've received from readers so far?
Wow, what a story. It is a great adventure right from the beginning with humor, love, and suspense. So many twists and turns kept you wondering in anticipation of what adventure will be next. I loved it. Thank you for the great story, Rico.
That's a pretty nice comment. Any others?
Yes, what a great story. I did not expect the ending would be like that. I didn't want to put the book down once I got into it. On to the next one. Thanks, Rico.
So, Rico, where can we learn more about you, about your other books, and most of all, where can we purchase My Bad Tequila?
Well, I have a blog that I write, blog.mybadtequila.com, and you can find my books at all major online retailers. Also, barnesandnoble.com, and you can go into any of their stores and order my books.
In the minute we have left, will you give our audience something about My Bad Tequila that will serve as an incentive for them to purchase and read it?
You'll see the true reflection of me when the tequila bottle is empty. I shouted out to the wind as I tossed the sad, angry, bottle-shaped mirror to the sea. I sat for a while and watched the fog slowly envelope the town, the surrounding mountains, and everything else I could see minutes before. What happened here last night? Trying to recollect the last thing I could recall. Searching my memory bank. Ah, yes, it was coming back to me now. There was fog last night, real fog. I was drinking tequila and was trying to wake Tina up, and my mind came to a sudden halt.
Wow, that is definitely an incentive to want to learn more. So, Rico, it's really been interesting talking with you today. Thank you so much for sharing your story in My Bad Tequila with us. I do hope that you'll come back and chat with us again when you release your next book.
Absolutely, Linda. It's been a pleasure for me as well.
Most of us have experiences in life we wish we could forget, or did because of alcohol-induced blankness. Austin calls these bad tequila moments, as imbibing in that particular libation seems to have more bad consequences than others. This novel is loosely based on his real-life experiences, or those he can remember anyway. That's his bad tequila moment. Definitely an interesting story for all of those who remember a spring break in Mexico. As Austin writes at the end of his synopsis, thinking about sending your kids to Paradise Unsupervised? Think again. All parents need to read this book. This is Linda Thompson, concluding another edition of The Author Show. Please share this interview with your family and friends so that they too may have the opportunity to discover our guest and his work. And why not spread the word on social media as well? Please join us next time for another exciting author and another great book on The Author Show.
Thanks for listening to The Author Show. To contact us, call toll-free 1-877-955-8800. That's 877-55-8800. Or visit theauthorshow.com, theauthorshow.com. Tune in next time to another great author on The Author Show.